Every extraordinary journey begins long before success becomes visible. It starts in a quiet moment when someone decides that their life must stand for something greater than comfort, fear, or routine. The strongest people are not always the most talented, the wealthiest, or the most connected. They are often the ones who know exactly why they wake up every morning. They have a reason that pulls them forward even when motivation disappears and circumstances become difficult. Many people spend years focusing on what they want. They want more money, a better career, stronger relationships, or greater opportunities. But the problem is that what you want can change. Your goals can shift. Your environment can change. Your emotions can rise and fall. When everything around you becomes uncertain, only one thing remains stable: your reason. Research on long-term achievement consistently shows that people who connect their actions to a deeper purpose are far more likely to persist through challenges than those who are driven only by rewards. Purpose creates endurance. Purpose creates resilience. Purpose creates the ability to keep moving when there is no immediate evidence that your efforts are working. Think about the moments when people quit. They rarely quit because they lack ability. They quit because they lose connection to the reason they started. The weight of obstacles becomes heavier than the vision they carry inside. Doubt begins to whisper louder than belief. Fear becomes more convincing than hope. Without a strong reason, every setback feels like proof that they should stop. But when your reason is clear, failure takes on a different meaning. A closed door is no longer a final answer. A rejection is no longer a personal judgment. A delay is no longer a sign that success is impossible. Instead, these experiences become part of the journey. They become lessons, adjustments, and opportunities to grow stronger. Your reason acts like an internal compass. It helps you make decisions when the path is unclear. It helps you remain focused when distractions compete for your attention. It reminds you what truly matters when the world tries to define success for you. The most inspiring leaders, innovators, athletes, and creators in history shared one common characteristic. They were driven by something deeper than personal gain. Their actions were connected to a cause, a mission, or a belief that extended beyond themselves. That deeper purpose gave them the strength to continue when others gave up. There will be days when enthusiasm fades. There will be mornings when getting out of bed feels difficult. There will be moments when progress appears invisible. Those are the moments when your reason matters most. Motivation is temporary. Purpose is lasting. Motivation depends on feelings. Purpose depends on commitment. Ask yourself a simple question. Why does this matter to me? Keep asking until you reach an answer that feels real. Not the answer that sounds impressive. Not the answer that others expect. The answer that creates energy inside you. The answer that reminds you who you are and what you stand for. When your reason becomes clear, your actions gain meaning. Discipline becomes easier because you know what you are working toward. Sacrifice becomes easier because you understand what is at stake. Persistence becomes easier because your focus is no longer on temporary discomfort, but on long-term significance. The future belongs to those who understand their reason before they chase results. Results can inspire you for a moment. Purpose can sustain you for a lifetime. Every great achievement begins with a clear understanding of why it matters. Every meaningful transformation begins with a decision to connect daily actions to something bigger than yourself. The question is not whether you are capable of success. The question is whether your reason is strong enough to carry you through the challenges that stand between where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow. When your reason is powerful enough, obstacles become smaller, fear becomes weaker, and possibilities become greater. Your journey changes the moment you stop asking what you want and start understanding why it matters. Hard times have a way of revealing what comfort can hide. When life is easy, almost anyone can appear confident, patient, and determined. It is simple to smile when things are going well. It is easy to stay positive when opportunities are abundant and progress comes naturally. But true character is not discovered during moments of convenience. It is revealed during moments of pressure. Every challenge carries a question. Not a question about your circumstances, but a question about who you are. When obstacles appear, life asks whether your values are real or merely words. It asks whether your commitment is stronger than your excuses. It asks whether you will remain faithful to your purpose when the rewards are no longer immediate. History repeatedly shows that adversity is one of the greatest forces of transformation. The individuals who leave a lasting impact on the world are rarely the people who experience the smoothest path. More often, they are the ones who endured rejection, uncertainty, disappointment, and hardship. They developed strength because life demanded it from them. They discovered abilities they never knew they possessed because comfort was no longer an option. When everything is working in your favor, you do not need much courage. Courage becomes necessary when the future is uncertain. Integrity becomes valuable when compromise seems easier. Discipline becomes powerful when motivation disappears. Character is built in the moments when nobody is watching and when every reason to quit seems completely justified. There is something remarkable about difficult seasons. They strip away illusions. They remove distractions. They expose what truly matters. During hardship, people often discover priorities they ignored during easier times. Relationships become clearer. Goals become more meaningful. Gratitude becomes deeper. Strength becomes more authentic. Many people view challenges as interruptions to their journey. They believe life would finally improve if obstacles disappeared. Yet the obstacles themselves often contain the lessons needed for growth. The struggle is not always standing in the way. Sometimes the struggle is the way. Think about a piece of steel being forged. Heat and pressure are not signs of destruction. They are part of the process that creates durability. Without resistance, the steel remains weak. Without difficulty, potential often remains undeveloped. Human character follows a similar pattern. The qualities people admire most are resilience, wisdom, patience, leadership, and courage are rarely created during periods of comfort. They emerge through experience, challenge, and perseverance. Hard times also reveal the difference between interest and commitment. Anyone can be interested in success. Anyone can dream about achievement. But commitment is tested when progress slows. Commitment is tested when sacrifices become necessary. Commitment is tested when nobody applauds your efforts and results remain invisible. The strongest individuals understand that temporary circumstances do not define permanent identity. They refuse to let setbacks determine their self-worth. They recognize that failure is an event, not a person. They understand that one difficult chapter does not decide the entire story. There will be moments when life feels unfair. There will be days when your efforts appear unnoticed. There will be seasons when answers seem delayed and opportunities seem distant. Those moments often become the most important chapters of growth. They teach endurance. They teach perspective. They teach faith in your own ability to continue moving forward despite uncertainty. Character is not measured by how high you rise when conditions are perfect. Character is measured by how you respond when everything becomes difficult. It is revealed in your choices, your attitude, your persistence, and your willingness to continue despite discomfort. Every challenge places a mirror in front of you. It shows what still needs improvement, what strengths already exist, and what possibilities remain hidden beneath the surface. Hardship does not create character from nothing. It reveals what has been developing inside all along. One day you may look back on the struggles you wish had never happened and realize they shaped the person you became. The pressure that once felt unbearable may have created resilience. The disappointment that once felt devastating may have created wisdom. The uncertainty that once created fear may have created confidence. Difficult seasons have a unique ability to uncover strength, reveal purpose, and demonstrate the true depth of a person's character when everything else has been stripped away. Perfection is one of the most attractive ideas in the world. It promises certainty, admiration, and success. It convinces people that if they can just eliminate every flaw, avoid every mistake, and execute every step flawlessly, then they will finally achieve the life they desire. Yet perfection often becomes the very thing that prevents growth. It creates hesitation where action is needed. It creates fear where courage should exist. It turns opportunities into obstacles because people become more focused on avoiding mistakes than making progress. The truth is that progress has always been the real driver of achievement. Every meaningful accomplishment begins with imperfection. Every great skill starts with inexperience. Every successful person begins as a beginner. Nobody enters a new challenge already possessing mastery. Growth requires movement, and movement always includes mistakes, adjustments, and learning. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect moment. They wait until they feel completely confident. They wait until every detail is organized. They wait until every risk disappears. The problem is that perfection is not a destination anyone reaches. The more you learn, the more you realize there is still room for improvement. If perfection becomes the requirement for action, action never happens. Progress operates differently. Progress does not demand flawless execution. It only asks for the next step. It asks for consistent effort. It asks for a willingness to keep moving even when results are not immediate. Progress understands that growth is not a straight line. Some days bring victories. Other days bring lessons. Both are valuable. Studies on performance and skill development consistently reveal that improvement comes through repetition, feedback, and adaptation. Excellence is not created by avoiding errors. Excellence is created by learning from them. Every attempt provides information. Every setback offers insight. Every challenge teaches something that success alone could never reveal. Think about the strongest structures in the world. They were not built in a single day. They were constructed piece by piece, layer by layer, through thousands of deliberate actions. Human achievement follows the same principle. Great careers, strong relationships, successful businesses, and meaningful lives are built through steady progress over time. Small improvements accumulate. Small efforts compound. Small victories create momentum. One of the greatest dangers of perfectionism is that it shifts focus away from growth and toward judgment. Instead of asking, "What can I learn?" people begin asking, "What if I fail?" Instead of celebrating improvement, they criticize themselves for not being further ahead. Instead of recognizing progress, they focus exclusively on what remains unfinished. This mindset creates frustration because no matter how much is accomplished, it never feels enough. The finish line keeps moving. Satisfaction remains out of reach. Confidence decreases because self-worth becomes tied to impossible standards rather than meaningful effort. Progress creates a healthier perspective. It recognizes that every step forward matters. It understands that improvement is often invisible in the short term, but remarkable in the long term. A single day may not appear significant, but months of consistent action can completely transform a person's future. The people who achieve extraordinary results are rarely the people who never make mistakes. They are the people who refuse to stop because of mistakes. They continue learning, adapting, and growing. They understand that temporary imperfections are part of a permanent process of development. There will always be reasons to delay action. There will always be areas that could be improved before beginning. There will always be uncertainties that cannot be eliminated. Waiting for perfection means placing your future in the hands of an impossible standard. Choosing progress means taking ownership of your growth today. Every step forward builds confidence. Every effort expands capability. Every challenge overcome creates new strength. The journey toward excellence is not defined by flawless performance. It is defined by consistent advancement. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is closed through action, not perfection. The most important question is not whether your work is perfect. The most important question is whether you are moving forward. Progress creates momentum. Momentum creates growth. Growth creates transformation. While perfection remains an unreachable ideal, progress remains available every single day to anyone willing to take the next step and continue moving toward a better version of themselves. One of the greatest sources of stress in life is spending energy on things that were never within our control to begin with. People worry about opinions they cannot change, outcomes they cannot guarantee, circumstances they cannot predict, and events they cannot prevent. They carry the weight of uncertainty as though it were their responsibility to manage every detail of the future. The result is frustration, exhaustion, and a constant feeling of powerlessness. The most effective leaders, athletes, entrepreneurs, and high performers understand a simple principle that separates productive action from unnecessary anxiety. They focus their attention on what they can control and release what they cannot. This mindset does not ignore reality. It recognizes reality. It accepts that some factors will always remain outside our influence, while others remain completely within our reach. Every day presents two different categories of challenges. The first includes things you cannot control. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control how quickly opportunities appear. You cannot control how every person responds to your efforts. You cannot control unexpected setbacks, criticism, or changes in circumstances. The second category includes things you can control. You can control your attitude. You can control your preparation. You can control your work ethic. You can control how you respond when life becomes difficult. The difference between these two categories may seem simple, but it changes everything. When people focus primarily on what they cannot control, they often feel trapped. They wait for conditions to improve before taking action. They blame circumstances for their lack of progress. They become consumed by worry because they are trying to manage outcomes that remain uncertain. When people focus on what they can control, they regain power. Their attention shifts from fear to action. Instead of asking why something happened, they ask what they can do next. Instead of becoming distracted by uncertainty, they become committed to preparation. Instead of waiting for confidence, they begin creating confidence through consistent effort. Research on resilience and performance repeatedly shows that individuals who concentrate on controllable actions are better equipped to handle stress and adversity. Their mental energy is directed toward productive behavior rather than endless speculation. They spend less time worrying about possibilities and more time creating results. Consider how often people postpone their goals because they fear outcomes they cannot predict. They hesitate because they cannot guarantee success. They delay because they cannot eliminate every risk. Yet no meaningful achievement comes with certainty. The future has always involved unknown variables. Success belongs to those who move forward despite uncertainty while maintaining control over their actions. Every challenge presents an opportunity to practice this principle. When criticism appears, you cannot control the words others choose. You can control your response. When plans fail, you cannot change what already happened. You can control the lesson you take from the experience. When obstacles emerge, you cannot always remove them immediately. You can control your determination to keep moving. The strongest individuals are not those who control every circumstance. They are those who control themselves regardless of circumstances. They understand that emotional discipline becomes a competitive advantage. While others become overwhelmed by external events, they remain focused on the actions that matter most. This mindset creates clarity. It eliminates unnecessary distractions. It prevents energy from being wasted on situations that cannot be changed. Most importantly, it creates momentum because action becomes possible even when conditions are imperfect. Life will always contain uncertainty. Unexpected events will occur. Challenges will arise without warning. Opinions will differ. Outcomes will vary. None of these realities can be completely eliminated. What can always remain within your control is your mindset, your effort, your preparation, your integrity, and your willingness to continue moving forward. Great achievements are rarely built by people who obsess over every variable outside their influence. They are built by people who consistently master the variables within their reach. They understand that while they cannot always control what happens around them, they can control what happens within them. Every moment presents a choice. You can invest your energy in worrying about forces you cannot change, or you can invest that same energy into actions that move you closer to your goals. One path creates frustration. The other creates progress. One path focuses on limitations. The other focuses on possibilities. The more attention you give to what you can control, the stronger, calmer, and more effective you become, regardless of the challenges standing in front of you. Human nature naturally seeks comfort. We look for certainty, familiarity, and security because they make us feel safe. We prefer routines we already understand, environments we can predict, and situations where we know exactly what to expect. Comfort feels pleasant because it removes risk and reduces stress. Yet there is a hidden cost to staying comfortable for too long. Comfort protects us from difficulty, but it can also protect us from growth. Every meaningful transformation begins when someone becomes willing to step beyond what feels familiar. Growth has never been created by remaining exactly where you are. It emerges when you challenge yourself, stretch your abilities, and enter situations that demand more from you than before. Discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. Very often, it is evidence that something valuable is happening. Think about learning any new skill. The first attempt usually feels awkward. The first presentation creates nervousness. The first leadership opportunity creates uncertainty. The first major goal often feels intimidating. These feelings are not obstacles to growth. They are part of the growth process itself. The discomfort exists because you are operating beyond your current level of experience. Many people misinterpret discomfort as a signal to stop. The moment something becomes difficult, they assume they are not talented enough, prepared enough, or capable enough. In reality, difficulty often means the opposite. It means you are expanding. It means you are learning. It means you are developing abilities that cannot emerge within the boundaries of comfort. Research on human performance consistently demonstrates that improvement occurs when people challenge themselves beyond their existing capabilities. Muscles grow through resistance. Knowledge grows through effort. Confidence grows through experience. Resilience grows through adversity. Every important quality develops because something difficult demanded its creation. Consider how confidence is built. Many people believe confidence comes before action. They wait until they feel completely certain before moving forward. Yet confidence rarely appears first. Confidence is usually the result of action. It grows each time you face something uncomfortable and discover you can handle more than you previously believed. The most successful individuals are not people who avoid discomfort. They are people who develop a healthier relationship with it. They understand that uncertainty often accompanies opportunity. They recognize that fear often appears before growth. They accept that temporary discomfort may be the price of long-term fulfillment. There are countless examples of this principle throughout life. Every athlete experiences demanding training sessions. Every entrepreneur faces uncertainty. Every leader encounters difficult decisions. Every person pursuing meaningful goals eventually reaches moments where comfort and growth point in different directions. At those moments, a choice must be made. Choosing comfort may provide immediate relief, but it often leads to stagnation. Choosing growth may create temporary discomfort, but it leads to development. One path feels easier today. The other creates a stronger tomorrow. Discomfort also reveals hidden potential. Most people are capable of far more than they realize. The problem is that unused potential remains invisible. It only becomes visible when challenges force people to discover new strengths. Many individuals never realize how resilient they are until life becomes difficult. They never realize how capable they are until responsibility increases. They never realize how courageous they are until fear demands action. Every challenge contains an invitation to become more than you currently are. Every difficult conversation offers an opportunity to improve communication. Every setback offers an opportunity to strengthen resilience. Every uncertainty offers an opportunity to develop courage. Growth is not found on the other side of comfort. Growth is found on the other side of discomfort. This does not mean seeking unnecessary hardship. It means refusing to allow discomfort to dictate your decisions. It means understanding that feeling uncomfortable does not mean you are failing. It may mean you are learning. It may mean you are evolving. It may mean you are moving closer to your potential. The future is shaped by the choices made during uncomfortable moments. When others retreat, growth-minded individuals advance. When others avoid challenges, they embrace opportunities to learn. When others seek only comfort, they seek development. Over time, these small decisions create extraordinary results. Every version of yourself that you aspire to become exists beyond the limits of your current comfort zone. The skills you want, the confidence you desire, the success you seek, and the impact you hope to create all require expansion. Growth has always demanded effort, courage, and uncertainty. The discomfort you experience today may not be evidence that you are on the wrong path. It may be proof that you are becoming the person you were always capable of becoming. Life rarely unfolds according to a perfect plan. There are moments when everything seems to be working, when progress feels visible, and when confidence comes naturally. Then there are moments when obstacles appear without warning. Plans change. Opportunities disappear. Effort goes unnoticed. Results take longer than expected. During those difficult seasons, the most important principle is often the simplest one. Keep moving forward. Success is not built on a single breakthrough. It is built on the decision to continue when progress feels slow. Most people admire the final achievement, but they rarely see the countless moments when someone chose not to quit. They do not see the early mornings, the repeated failures, the periods of uncertainty, or the quiet determination that existed long before success became visible. One of the greatest misconceptions about achievement is the belief that successful people always feel motivated. The truth is very different. Motivation rises and falls. Confidence comes and goes. Circumstances change constantly. What separates high achievers from everyone else is not a permanent state of inspiration. It is the ability to continue taking action even when inspiration is absent. Every journey contains moments where stopping seems reasonable. Every goal encounters resistance. Every dream faces challenges. There will be days when the path feels unclear and the destination feels distant. During those moments, the temptation to quit becomes strongest. Yet those same moments often determine future success. History repeatedly demonstrates that persistence creates extraordinary outcomes. Many individuals who eventually achieved remarkable success experienced setbacks that would have convinced others to give up. They faced rejection, criticism, disappointment, and uncertainty. The difference was not that they avoided obstacles. The difference was that they refused to let obstacles become permanent barriers. Progress is often invisible while it is happening. A person working toward a goal may feel as though nothing is changing. Day after day, the effort appears small. The results appear limited. The distance remaining seems overwhelming. Yet growth rarely happens all at once. It accumulates gradually. Small actions compound. Consistent effort builds momentum. Tiny improvements eventually create significant transformation. Think about a river carving its way through solid rock. The river does not succeed because it is stronger than the rock. It succeeds because it continues flowing. Day after day, year after year, its persistence creates change. Human achievement follows a similar pattern. Consistent effort often accomplishes what talent alone cannot. One reason people stop moving forward is because they become too focused on the entire journey. They look at how far they still have to go, rather than recognizing how far they have already come. The future appears overwhelming because they are trying to solve every problem at once. Yet progress has never required solving everything today. It only requires taking the next step. The next step may be small. It may seem insignificant. It may not produce immediate results. That does not reduce its value. Every meaningful accomplishment is built upon actions that once seemed ordinary. Every great achievement was once a series of small decisions repeated consistently over time. Challenges also serve an important purpose. They develop qualities that cannot be created through comfort alone. Persistence grows through resistance. Resilience grows through adversity. Confidence grows through experience. Strength grows through struggle. Every obstacle contains lessons that become valuable long after the challenge itself has passed. There will be times when progress feels slow. There will be moments when setbacks create frustration. There will be periods when uncertainty creates doubt. These experiences are not signs that you should stop. They are signs that you are engaged in a process that requires patience and perseverance. The strongest individuals understand that temporary difficulties do not define permanent outcomes. They refuse to judge their future based on a single moment. They understand that failure is not final, rejection is not permanent, and setbacks are not the end of the story. They recognize that every day presents another opportunity to continue. The future is shaped by the actions taken when nobody is celebrating, when results are unclear, and when challenges appear larger than opportunities. Those are the moments that build character. Those are the moments that develop resilience. Those are the moments that separate dreams from reality. No matter how difficult the path becomes, movement creates possibility. Stagnation guarantees nothing changes, but forward motion creates opportunity. One step creates momentum. Momentum creates progress. Progress creates transformation. The pace may vary, the challenges may differ, and the journey may take longer than expected, but every step forward carries you closer to becoming the person you are capable of becoming. The key is not to move perfectly, quickly, or fearlessly. The key is to keep moving forward.